Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hello, and welcome back to our VA Mastery Series. We are on episode 13. That's 13 weeks that we have been consistently coming on here every single week, delivering some really valuable content in regards to setting up your virtual assistant business. Some of the tips and tricks on how to thrive in your virtual assistant business, how to get started, how to scale, all the things, right? So welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. As you're rolling in, say hello. I do see some people popping on. I am going live inside of our virtual assistant collective group. I'm also going live on Instagram, and you can catch me live on YouTube as well. Okay. So we're streaming in all the places. All right. And, today's going to be a really important topic. All right. Talina, VA. All right. Hello from Instagram. Thanks for joining. We have a really great topic today. And it's really all about, pretty much how it can transform your business. And it's about, building those long-term relationships with clients. All right. Because we do all this work to get our clients, right? We have discovery calls, well, first of all, we do marketing, right? Then we have these discovery calls. We hop on the call, we find out their pain points. We, talk to them about how we can help them in their businesses. Then when they sign on with us, we have to give them our welcome packet, right? And we have to onboard them and get them set up. Then we have to become familiar with how we work together, right? So it's a lot of work to bring those clients on. You are from Indonesia. Oh my gosh, Talina VA from Indonesia. Hey, great to see you over on Instagram. So glad that you're joining us. And good morning to Raga and Sarah and Anne, good morning. Thank you so much for joining. You were just going to message me, Sarah? Okay. All right. Yes. I can't wait. All right. Very good. Good morning to everyone. All right. So, and Jeremy over on Instagram. Hey, Jeremy, thanks for popping in and just saying hello during this live. We're talking all about today, building the long-term client relationships. Okay. So we're just talking about this. It's a lot of work to go out and get clients, right? So we are doing the marketing, right? To bring them in. Then we're doing the discovery calls. We may be doing follow-up calls just, to answer more questions. And then when they sign up with you, you're doing all this onboarding. Now, of course, we have automated processes in place and things like that, but it's still a lot of work to get new clients, right? So, and a lot of times, like if you feel like you're bringing a client in, right, and it's maybe just like a one-off project or transaction or something, today's session is going to change that for you, okay? Because we're talking about building those long-term relationships with clients so that you don't have to, you're going to establish something that's, going to avoid you from having to just constantly go out there looking for clients, all right? And it's all about those long-term relationships. And I'm going to tell you a quick story right now. So I think it was back in 2013. So that's 11 years ago. I brought a new client on board, and we did have some rough patches, and that stuff happens, right? But guess what? We still have a client manager relationship. I am still with that same client 11 years later, and I'm going to tell you, it's just it's amazing building those relationships. The reason why is because it's just you get to know each other, right? And you just gel together. They refer you. You don't have to do the onboarding and all the things, right? So if you are feeling like your client interactions are kind of like one-off transactions, right? Today's session, we're gonna change that for you, okay? Because we're really aiming to turn all of those those transactions into meaningful and lasting partnerships. That's really what we want to do, right? Because and a lot of times those relationships turn into friendship type things. Okay. Good morning, Jeanette. How are you? I saw your beautiful picture this morning of you out on your walk. So good job. You're such an inspiration. All right. So I guess we're just going to start by talking about why long-term relationships matter, right? I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? But for a virtual assistant, especially, these steady relationships, they mean steady work, right? They mean referrals. They can also mean, less time spent on the onboarding the new clients, and, really more time just doing productive work that actually pays you, right? And that's what we want to do, right? Having that steady work is really what helps us scale our businesses too, right? So how the heck do we build these relationships? All right. So let's just break it down into 3 key areas. Okay. And those 3 key areas are communication, exceeding expectations, and handling feedback. All right. There's 3 key areas today. All right. So first up, let's just talk about really, really effective communication. Thank you, Jeanette. So are you, honey. You are too. So effective communication really is, like the cornerstone of any good relationship. Do you agree? Tell me if you agree with that. I mean, because lack of communication, what does that do for you, right? Ooh, I can tell you some horror stories about, lack of communication, especially with clients, right? So, it's really all about clarity, and it's about consistency, and, just always keeping your clients, in the loop on their projects, right? But you also check in with them regularly about their needs, right? And how they feel about the work that you're doing. Okay. So that you can gauge that. Right. So, and a simple strategy that you can start today, actually, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm coughing here. A simple strategy that you could implement today, you can go back and implement this today, is to just schedule regular check-ins. Okay. Maybe even just a quick weekly update email. It could be an email, right? Or a monthly catch-up call. And of course, it's depending on the client's preference. Okay. I'm going to give you an example. For my team, I have 2 amazing VAs, and we actually do a weekly check-in call. It's usually on Mondays because that kind of gets our week started, right? And we each report out on our key areas, right? I do the business strategy, and the VAs, depending on what they handle, they report out on what's going on. Like how's our engagement doing? How's our social media strategy doing? Things like that. Okay. And those check-in calls really, really help us bond as a team too. Yes, so true, Raga. That's right. Yes. So that bonding piece to me is like, it makes you feel like family. It's inspirational, and I think it's motivational, right? It helps lift the team up, and know what to expect and what's going on. Okay. And it doesn't have to be long. Sometimes in our weekly check-ins, they go a little bit longer because we get a little chatty because we want to know what's going on in each other's lives. Right. And we make it fun too. But, that weekly check-in, call has been, a game changer for our team. So the key area number 2 is exceeding expectations. Okay. Now this is where, this is really, really close to my heart, because whenever I'm working for a client, right, or have ever worked for a client, I'm always wanting to exceed their expectations. And I want that wow factor, right? And, it doesn't mean doing more for less pay or anything like that, right? Really what it means is just finding a balance and just kind of like adding more value, and doing it in a way that kind of surprises and delights your client, right? So let me give you an example. Okay. So if you're managing a client's email, you might set up some new filters or maybe some labels that help them stay more organized without them asking for you to do that, right? When they see that, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this person went above and beyond, and they're loving it, right? So just kind of think of like some little enhancements that can make your client's life easier, right? And these actions will just show that you're proactive and you're attentive, and that you actually really care. Okay. And that really is important to clients, And then the third key area is handling feedback. Okay. Now we all know that feedback is gold, right? Because it tells you exactly what you need to do to keep your clients happy. Right. And it's not just about listening to their feedback. Okay. It's about what you do with it. It's taking action on the feedback, right? And always thank your clients for their feedback, right? Whether it's positive or negative, all right? Because we can always learn from the feedback, okay? And if there are criticisms, just try to see them as opportunities to improve, okay? And just show that you take the feedback seriously by talking to your client, discussing how you can really implement changes based on their suggestions. Okay. Because they'll love that. And actually, when you're open-minded like that, and you're taking the critiques and the constructive criticism, and really doing something with that, first of all, your level is up here, right? And it's your maturity is coming through, and and that's actually part of a mindset shift, right? Because instead of saying, oh, well, right? We want to take those criticisms and the feedbacks, and we want to improve our services. And I mean, frankly, we're improving our skills. So now, not only are we improving our skills for our current client, we can take that on to the next client. Okay. And it just improves us overall as virtual assistants and service providers. Freelancer Masta Kim, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad this is helpful. All right. So those are the three key areas. And let's just talk about these again. I'm just going to do a quick wrap up and talk about, what we've covered today. Okay. So number one is effective communication. All right. So keep your clients updated, check in with them regularly. This will be a game changer. Number two is to exceed expectations and just look for those small ways to add that extra value to your services. Okay. And number three is to handle feedback constructively. And sometimes that can be a little hard because you may feel a little offended or whatever, but it's okay. Put that to the side and just, put your mindset shift cap on, and just always thank your clients and for their feedback, and just use it as a stepping stone for improvement. Okay. All right. So those are the three key areas, and really implementing these strategies that we just talked about, it will help transform your all of your professional interactions, and it'll really turn them into partnerships, really. Okay. And this approach, it's just like a well-rounded approach. It not only makes your work more fulfilling, but it also really solidifies your reputation as a reliable and exceptional virtual assistant or service provider. Okay. So I hope these were helpful, and I would love to know which one of these strategies are you guys excited about implementing first. All right. So drop a comment below and tell me what you are most excited about doing and using. All right. Put these in your tool belt, you guys. Take them away. Go implement them today. All right. And just remember that building a really strong client relationship is, it's about creating a foundation of trust, right? And value and consistent communication. Communication is so, so important. All right. And that is it for today. Those are the three key areas that we talked about. So thank you so much for joining me in today's episode. And, just keep striving to build those connections, right? Not connections that not just last for a long time, right? But they really thrive. Okay. All right. So, that is it for this week. Next week starts the summer, right? Our summer episodes. And I don't even have my topics yet. So you're going to have to stay tuned to see what our topics are going to be for June. We'll be releasing those very, very soon. All right. And a couple different announcements are that I have a new webinar coming up in June as well. And I will be announcing all about that. Of course, it's about how to get your virtual assistant business off the ground very quickly and to go get those clients so that you can start producing an income, whether you want to transition full time from maybe you're a 9-to-5, or maybe you want to do start a side hustle, right? To have some extra money, pay for some vacation or Christmas or savings or whatever the case may be. Okay. So we have that coming up. That's going to be on June 24th, and there will be more details released throughout the feed here in our group. And so that is about it for today. So thanks again for joining me for today's episode 13. Episode 14 is going to drop next Wednesday at 10 a.m. We're here every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, providing you with all kinds of topics on how to start, grow, scale your virtual assistant business, even above and beyond a virtual assistant business, even if you're looking at maybe starting, scaling to an agency. Okay. That is what we are here for. And real quick, I did not do an introduction in the beginning. So my name is Jodi Marvin, and I am a certified business strategist. And you know what? I train naturally organized women to build virtual assistant businesses that they love from home. So if you are new to my page, give me a hashtag new, and I would love to reach out to you and get to know you. We have our wonderful Facebook group here. It's called the Virtual Assistant Collective. We have tons of free content in here to help you get your virtual assistant business off the ground. So if you are not in the group, if you're watching from Instagram or from YouTube and you would like information on the group, just, send me an email, jodi@jodimarvin.com, or you can find me on Facebook. And we'd love to have you over here in the group. All right. We have lots of like-minded women who are on the same path, and, we're all collaborating and networking together so that we can all be successful together. All righty. So, okay. Delina Talina VA, you are so welcome. Thank you for joining me on Instagram all the way from Indonesia. Amazing. I don't even know what time it is there. I don't know if it's got to be pretty, I'm going to say late. Yeah. Oh, good night. Yes, good night. All right. Good night from Indonesia. Thank you so much again for joining. All right, you guys. So again, keep striving to build those connections. All right. And I will see you on the next episode. All right. Bye.